The new Superman, directed by James Gunn, will hit theaters on July 11th, 2025. Here are the 10 reasons why this movie might crash harder than a Kryptonian spaceship in a Kansas cornfield. No sugarcoating, just the bitter truth of why this Man of Steel could be a box office disaster. 1. Cape Fatigue Syndrome. The world's so sick of superheroes, people would rather watch paint dry in Smallville than another caped savior. Marvel's churned out 30-plus films, DC's rebooted Superman more times than a bad sitcom, and audiences are over it. Social media users are already sneering, "Oh great, another Superman origin story? Wake me when it's on streaming." If Gunn doesn't pull a miracle, like making Superman feel like he invented the genre again, this film's DOA, buried under a pile of discarded spandex. 2. James Gunn's Cosmic Gamble. Gunn's great at turning D-list weirdos like Star-Lord into stars, but Superman's not some snarky space loser, he's the freaking gold standard. If Gunn slathers his Guardians shtick, like quippy aliens, retro playlists, maybe a dancing Lex Luthor, onto the Man of Steel, it'll be like putting ketchup on a steak. Social media is buzzing with skeptics muttering, "Keep your cosmic clown show away from our Boy Scout." One wrong tonal step, and fans will burn this film down faster than a Metropolis laser fight. 3. Corinwitz Clark Kent Conundrum. David Corinwitz got the looks, but following Henry Cavill's Superman is like trying to outshine a solar flare. His resume screams Netflix sidekick, not iconic hero, and if his Clark Kent is a fumbling hipster, or his Superman feels like a CrossFit bro in a cape, audiences will gag. Social media is already sharpening pitchforks, with posts like, "Who's this budget Cavill? Did they cast him from a CW audition?" If Corinwitz doesn't nail both the nerd and the superhero, he's toast. 4. Kryptonite-sized expectations. Superman's not just a character, he's a cultural deity. Fans want perfection, soaring action, heart-wrenching drama, and zero deviation from their childhood comic books. Gunn's got to thread a needle thinner than Lois Lane's patience, and if he leans too grim, a la Snyder's emo Superman, or too goofy, like Superman 3's drunk-on-a-bar fiasco, the fans will crucify him. One misstep, and Not My Superman hashtag will trend harder than a Luthor conspiracy. 5. Crowded 2025 blockbuster bash. 2025 is a superhero slaughterhouse, with Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four ready to steal Superman's lunch money. 2 weeks after Superman, Marvel's first family will stretch, burn, and invisible wall their way into theaters, leaving DC's Big Blue Boy Scout looking like yesterday's news. Audiences aren't made of money, and they'll pick the shiny new toy over a rebooted relic. Good luck, Kal-El, you're fighting for scraps. 6. Lois Lane's chemistry check. Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane is a sharp-tongued dynamo, but if she and Corinwitz don't spark like a Metropolis power grid, their romance will flop harder than a LexCorp stock crash. Superman and Lois are supposed to be the ultimate power couple, not two randos stuck in an elevator. If Brosnahan's wit overshadows Corinwitz's Clark, it'll be like watching Midge Maisel roast a cardboard cutout. There's no two ways about it. No chemistry, no box office. 7. Villain overload vibe. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor sounds juicy, but tossing in Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Metamorpho, That's not a Superman movie, it's a DCU casting call. If Gunn jams every sidekick and villain into the script, it'll feel like a cheap Justice League knockoff, not a solo epic. Besides, why is Superman sharing screen time with B-listers? This ain't Avengers. If the plot's more crowded than a metropolis subway, fans will bolt faster than Barry Allen. 8. DCU reboot Whiplash. The DCEU was a train wreck of epic highs like Wonder Woman and soul-crushing lows like Justice League's Mustache Gate. Now Gunn's rebooting the whole damn thing with Superman as the cornerstone. But fans are exhausted from DC's endless new era promises. Social media is a war zone of Snyder stans crying betrayal and casuals rolling their eyes at another reset. If this movie feels like a setup for Creature Commandos or some obscure DCU spin-off, audiences will ditch it like a bad blind date. 9. Budget Bloat Blues. This film's budget is probably north of $200 million, with CGI Metropolis battles and a star-studded cast eating up cash like Lex eats up power. To break even, it needs to rake in endgame-level billions, but recent superhero duds prove audiences aren't opening their wallets for mediocre end product. If the effects look like a PS4 cutscene or the marketing screams generic blockbuster, it'll sink faster than a Kryptonian escape pod. 10. X Factor Backlash. X, or Twitter, or social media in general, is a feral beast that can shred a movie's hype in seconds. One leak-set photo of Corinwitz in a wonky cape or a test screening review calling the plot Snyder Light could spark a boycott Superman #firestorm. The Snyderverse cult is still raging on social media, and if Gunn's vision doesn't deliver, they'll torch it harder than Zod torched Krypton. Even Gunn's charm offensive on social media won't save him if the early review drops and fans scream, "This ain't it." In 2025, the internet's judge, jury, and executioner